What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about several new changes and more content in Black Ops Cold War, a big reveal for Vanguard Season 1, and the very end of Verdansk. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And by the way, you can win money while playing Warzone over at Players Lounge. This is perfect timing for the release of Caldera, and to get a head start, you can earn $25 for free when you sign up using the link in this video's description. There's also plenty of other games that you can take part in too, aside from Warzone. You can play solo or with your friends, and it has instant payouts with their automated scoring, plus the Anticheat system. They've already got some huge investment backing from Samsung, Comcast, Drake, and even more. Once again, all information is down below. Now, starting off with the Black Ops Cold War update. So first and definitely foremost, there are quite a few patch notes in regards to what got fixed with Cold War multiplayer, nerfing some weapons, fixing some stability for zombies, and I went over that in depth in a previous video, which is also linked down below. But here are some of the notable changes that you can see right now after installing the preload. So the preload did go live earlier this morning at about 11 a.m. Central. I was of course live when the preload did actually install. We were of course live with the finale of Verdansk, as we're going to talk about later in the video. But the icon for the game has changed back to its original from before the launch of Season 1. I almost forgot what this icon looked like. It's been so long since we've seen it, but it is now back, and it's better than ever, of course resembling the official cover art of Black Ops Cold War. The main menu is now a mix of all 6 seasons. Since every season, of course, there was a different styled video being played in the background of the main menu. Now they've merged all 6 seasons into one, which is beautiful. And the lobby background is now updated as well, and it's unclear if this is going to be the final background that we have going forward for the rest of year 2 and any other updates we get to Black Ops Cold War. You know, we of course had the inside of a plane as the background menu from when the game first came out, and it of course changed each and every season, but now we have what looks like a bit of a destroyed background. Is that Verdansk? I'm not sure exactly where that is. I mean, maybe it still is in Adler's mind, you know, it's more destructive in his head now. I'm not sure what exactly this is in the background. Leave all your best bets down below in the comments. And we all know usually the lobby background kind of matches the vibe of whatever the new multiplayer map is for that season, but we of course as of right now don't know about any new multiplayer maps, so it's unclear what this background actually is. Now, new bundles were also found in the game today as the preload did get installed. A lot of people out there did post a lot of images online of some of these new bundles, and it may not be all of them. Keep in mind, I'll make a separate follow-up video in the future whenever we do know exactly how many more bundles are releasing, but quite a few were found, so I think we're gonna have our hands full with some more Cold War content over at least the next maybe month and a half, hopefully a bit longer. And they're also gonna be re-releasing old battle pass skins in case you missed those battle passes in the form of vault packs, kind of similar to what they did with Modern Warfare 2019, where there were opportunities to get your hands on some content you may have missed from previous seasons. I'll of course provide more updates on what these bundles are called, you know, what the specific blueprints are for, as soon as COD Tracker and other notable websites do verify everything and post it on some of their sites. That'll of course be when Activision also greenlights the ability to talk more about some of this content over on the internet. You know, COD Tracker does work pretty closely with Activision from time to time, as we've seen in the past. So once I start talking about more of this, I'll provide you guys with updates on some more bundles. But this is what I mean, right? When it comes to year 2 of Black Ops Cold War, as of now, it doesn't necessarily confirm or mean that we're getting new maps, but I did make a separate video a couple of days ago talking about all unreleased maps that we know of from Black Ops Cold War. When it comes to multiplayer, when it comes to even some Fireteam expansions, we talked about what has been rumored by reliable gaming scoopers out there, and even content that apparently is done and on deck. So for all we know, some of those maps could end up releasing at some point randomly in 2022. I'd be totally welcome to that. And also, I think seeing some other playable operators get added would be fantastic, such as Kravchenko or some other icons that we can't currently play as right now from the zombie story. There was a new skin also found for the legend herself, Helen Park, and that's why I said there's probably some other operator skins we don't know about just yet, but I'll keep you guys posted with an update on this story in the next couple of days. Now, what's also really interesting is that some of the operators in Cold War don't have extra skins tied to them. For example, Captain Price and even Stryker. And if an operator has extra skins you could choose from, it allows you to click on a personalization menu for that character. But for a character like Stryker, that option was never there because there are no other skins for this character. However, as of with this update, you can now click on that personalization menu, which does mean other skins are going to be on the way for this legend that was first featured in the Season 5 intro cinematic cutscene. Figured I'd bring that up real quickly because that does inevitably confirm we're going to be getting more operator skins that aren't in the game and aren't even a part of Season 6, but instead are a part of whatever year 2 is going to be like for Black Ops Cold War. I am aware, however, that Treyarch has their hands full with Foundation of COD 2023, you know, hopefully fixing and polishing up Vanguard zombies. So what are the odds we get anything major in Cold War during 2022? I wouldn't say the odds are too high. However, there probably is content they just have laying around on deck ready to go that they can easily drop at any time, similar to the other bonus content we got for Modern Warfare at some point last year. So for right now, the beginning of year 2 for Cold War is dealing a little bit more with the synchronization between Vanguard, Warzone, Modern Warfare, and Cold War, meaning your rank will end up resetting once Season 1 does release, and your rank will account for whatever your rank is in Vanguard, whether it's Prestige 3 at the moment, or Level 1 if you never played Vanguard before, but you'll still be able to look at your old ranks and what you did accomplish in Black Ops Cold War when the game was in season. Not exactly sure how I feel about all CODs doing that going forward, but they have made quite a few changes as well to the weapons and some other zombies related issues that, again, I talked about in the previous video that I mentioned earlier on. But also don't forget, you have 4 days left to use code DYNAMITE over at Gfuel on any order to save 30%, which is fantastic, and then after that day, the code will allow you to save 10% off any order, but I will be, of course, getting a boost to that code, I think once or twice a month, in which you can then save 30% again. So I'm very excited about this. Once again, thank you for all the support on the channel that led to nice partnerships like this. I mean, Gfuel definitely helped out with a couple of my previous streams. We went for a Platinum Trophy over in Vanguard the other day and managed to get it done, and I probably wouldn't have been able to without the help of some Gfuel because some of those trophies were brutal, right? I had to stay energized, had to stay focused. It was crazy. We did a long stream earlier today where we were taking part in the finale of Verdansk event. You know, quite a bit of hours of streaming in the past 2 days, so I'm definitely exhausted, but got quite a few videos on deck for you guys that you do not want to miss out on. Now, when it comes to the final days of Verdansk as we know it, this playlist will be available until tomorrow night. Operation Flashback is still also available to play since they figured, you know what, Verdansk is going away permanently, at least to our understanding, might as well keep in all possible playlists for the map. And with the final days of Verdansk, you know, we all expected a nuke event or something massive on a great scale that may even compete with the recent event we had over in Fortnite, transitioning us from Chapter 2 to Chapter 3. However, you're probably a bit underwhelmed with what we did get in this final days of Verdansk LTM, since all it really is being able to play Resurgence, which is like Rebirth, in Verdansk, along with the ability to find these special contracts that drop from crashed planes. And once you complete these little contracts, which are just like scavengers, then you go ahead and unlock an exclusive plane skin, which you can't actually use until Caldera releases later this week. Now, what is cool about this LTM, though, which many people aren't really talking about, is the final circle. So in every single match you play of this LTM, the final circle will lead you towards one of the bunkers around the map, one of the World War II themed bunkers, which I think is poetic for the Vanguard transition. So once that happens, you then have to actually secure the bunker by having your team stand in a specific spot in the bunker itself. So yeah, it's a bit like, what, headquarters for multiplayer. It's a cool little feature that we've only ever seen in this LTM, at least to my understanding. And yeah, it gets tough when you have a lot of enemies chasing you from all different angles of the bunker itself. And I also figured I'd mention that we managed to find some really cool ground loot while playing. The combat bow, which we obviously saw introduced in Season 3, 80s Action Heroes, as well as the classic war machine, which I haven't seen in a long time. And it definitely got nerfed, as you guys will see in the background gameplay. It was tough to use some of these pieces of equipment or some of these special weapons. They weren't the greatest against the enemies. We still managed to catch the dub. And then with that, in terms of rewards for taking part in this LTM, again, it would have been cool like how we got last year with the nuke event where, you know, you finish the match of the new LTM and it transitions you right into the brand new Warzone map. It's not the case with this one though. So what happens is you get a calling card for just taking part in the LTM itself, which is also animated. No matter what you do in the match, you just get it automatically from playing. But if you win the match of this Final Days of Verdansk playlist, then you will go ahead and get this exclusive calling card, which looks a lot better than the other one I showed you. So some cool rewards, I guess you could say. And even if you don't win the match itself and you just spectate till the very end, once you wait for the entire match to complete, once, you know, the gas closes in and, you know, one team survives, you will then get a small cutscene also teasing the beautiful transition into Warzone Pacific. And the cutscene doesn't show much, just another glimpse of our all-new Warzone map that releases this Wednesday, and that's nice. I mean, it's been a hell of a ride with Verdansk. I will say I wasn't the biggest fan of Modern Warfare 2019. The game wasn't my cup of tea. I wasn't a huge fan of the multiplayer, but with Warzone, it kept me going. I really enjoyed covering the Easter eggs. I really enjoyed doing open lobbies on stream, getting victories, trying out different metas. I mean, I had my fun wherever I could with Verdansk. I definitely prefer the faster paced gameplay on Rebirth, but I guess I could say I will miss parts of Verdansk. I love the Cold War integration with the red doors. It's a ton of fun. Nakatomi Plaza is just absolutely wonderful. I mean, seeing a one-to-one version of one of the most iconic locations from Die Hard, I mean, it was incredible to see. So we've had our moments with Verdansk, but I definitely am ready for something new. So after getting this victory in the LTM, I can safely say I'll probably never touch Verdansk again, and that's fine. End off on a high note, right? But here we have the Season 1 1 DLC roadmap for Call of Duty Vanguard and Warzone Pacific. So I do have to admit, there really aren't too many surprises on this roadmap we didn't already know about from previous teasers, previous blogs, and even, information from gaming scoopers. But for Warzone Pacific, we already know, right? We have Caldera, 40 plus weapons, which means, yeah, all the Vanguard weapons are going to be integrated into Caldera. We all know that. A new Gulag. Rebirth Island is going to stay. I think it's going to go away for like a week or two, but it will come back. I don't think it's going to get a reskin where it looks like it's like a World War II setting. It'll just be the same map that gets brought back, of course, which is cool. And we, of course, have new modes, right? Vanguard Resurgence, Vanguard Royale, which will limit you to only being able to use Vanguard content, not Cold War and Modern Warfare content, but regular Battle Royale will allow you to use all the old blueprints and operators that you may have. New contracts, new public events, new combat vehicles, including the fighter plane, the squad vehicle, and the cargo truck. And then looking over to the right with multiplayer, we have 2 new multiplayer maps available for 6v6, 8v8, and 12v12. And we have, what is this, Paradise, which looks to be like a closed-off portion from the Caldera Warzone experience. I'm like, alright, that's cool. We then have Radar, which is a reimagining of Dome, a Pacific reimagining, I should say, a fan-favorite map from Modern Warfare 3. This map will also be playable in 14 versus 14, which is cool. Figured I'd clarify that. New multiplayer mode known as Control, new perks, plus lethal. I think they also teased the classic mode known as Drop Zone from Modern Warfare 3. That's also probably coming in Season 1 Reloaded. That was teased in the blog post. So yeah, for multiplayer, it's not too much content, so to speak, in comparison to Cold War Season 1 last year, but we probably all know why. Now, when it comes to zombies, however, this is where there's a bit of a problem with the community right now. So we have a new objective known as Purge, which is like playing domination for multiplayer in Duran Fung. New Covenants, which will go more in depth with in the upcoming zombies video I have that I'm working on. And we have new weapons, so I guess more support for the weapons that aren't available yet in Duran Fung, Riot Shield, rocket launchers, and some of the new ones releasing. New challenges for calling cards, the Tome of Rituals feature later coming in season, which I believe allows you to upgrade your artifacts. I mean, that's a cool idea. Instead of having the crystal upgrades from Cold War, you'll have this Tome of Rituals feature that you could do in-game, so I guess there's more RNG involved with it. We then have Von List's office, a new location in Duran Fung coming in season, along with support kill streaks and weapon updates, also coming at some point during Season 1 Reloaded. I definitely expected this when it comes to zombies. I wasn't expecting too much, to be honest with you, because, hey, everybody knows what's going on behind the scenes with Activision, with Raven. I mean, Treyarch having to balance, 3 projects at once. I wasn't expecting much. So with that, I mean, it looks like, at least for zombies, they're taking the experience from like an alpha to a beta stage. Not excusing that, but I'll be covering whatever I can for those out there that are interested. And lastly, when it comes to the bottom of the roadmap, we of course have the Ricochet Anticheat dropping first in Warzone at some point this week. It'll release in Vanguard multiplayer, also on PC later in season. We then have the Festive Fervor looking seasonal event, which is awesome. It's going to feature the man himself, Krampus, as a playable operator, which also got previously rumored a couple of weeks ago. I went over that at some point in an old video. New operators, Francis, Lewis, and Isabella. For weapons, we have the Cooper Carbine, which is an assault rifle, the Sawtooth melee weapon, and the Katana melee weapon. There's also the Gorenko anti-tank sniper rifle, and then the Wellgun SMG. And the Wellgun SMG is coming later in season. The other weapons are going to be available right away at the start of the season. New bundles, Skull Collector Pro Pack, the Firestarter Mastercraft, as well as the Curse of the Ancients, also coming later in Season 1 Reloaded. So like I said, even with, some of the Cold War DLC updates, whenever there isn't much on the initial roadmap, or whenever there's a lot that says in season, you can almost bet your ass that there's going to be a surprise roadmap for the Reloaded update of that season with other stuff that we currently don't know about. Now overall, this is still solid content, cannot complain, right? Multiplayer dropped with quite a bit at launch, zombies need some work, and I think when it comes to Warzone, it's kind of what we expected. So overall, a fairly cool roadmap. But still, when you compare it to Cold War Season 1 last year, you're going to call me a show in the comments. I already know. I just feel like Cold War Season 1 last year offered so much more. I mean, the variety was there. Raid, Express, Sanatorium, all the gunfight maps, weapons, operators, the story, cinematics. I mean, it just really hit the mark. And it's objective, of course. But so far, we're going to give this a shot, hoping for the best for Season 1, which does release just, 30 hours from now, time posting this video. We also got a launch trailer for Caldera earlier this afternoon. I still find it weird that the intro cinematic cutscene was only dropped on COD's Twitter, not their YouTube channel. However, the launch trailer for Caldera is available in HD on the Call of Duty YouTube channel, and once again giving us a better glimpse of the map, more of the areas. It's beautiful, it's colorful, it's gonna change the pace of Warzone as we know it, and I think if anybody out there was an expert at Verdansk, they may have to rethink how they're gonna play Battle Royale and even Plunder when this map does release very soon. Now lastly, I don't want to make this video too long, but we do have quite a few images that have popped up and have been reported by, major players of the press, Charlie Intel, Modern Warzone, images of new blueprints coming out. There is a beautiful looking MP40, and right now I was like, alright, I'm not really too interested in a lot of the cosmetics we've seen so far when it comes to bundles, blueprints, but this MP40 is sexy, I can't deny that. We also have a Captain America looking blueprint, so I'm like, hold on a second. If we end up getting an Indiana Jones blueprint at some point, that'll match up perfectly with the previous rumors for those 40 action heroes themed calling cards that I reported on. So we may end up getting playable operators like Captain America, Indiana Jones. I mean, there's a blueprint for Cap, so unless it's just a massive coincidence, I definitely think we're getting some really special crossover event at some point soon. We also have holiday themed skins, which are of course going to be a part of the holiday themed event, which is going to begin, I want to say, in the next 2 weeks tops, maybe even sooner than that. But keep you guys posted with whatever happens with more of these blueprints. And we do currently know about just about all upcoming bundles for Season 1, including even the Battle Pass tiers, upcoming equipment, some other exclusives. I'm going to be focusing more on that in a video I'll be posting, I want to say, a good 7 hours from now. Definitely have notifications on to make sure you stay up to date. I have some exclusive sneak peeks at some upcoming content that you do not want to miss out on. So with that being said, really hope you've enjoyed. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the new content and new updates over in Black Ops Cold War? How do you feel about the roadmap reveal of Vanguard Season 1? And are you a bit sad that Verdansk is officially going away as of, what, a good 24 hours from now? That's going to be it. We have Season 1 dropping this Wednesday, which I'll also be streaming live here on the channel. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.